Hi, we're here today at Sage Integrative Health. I'm really excited to be talking about a new program we're going to be launching. I am Dr. Wendy Romig. I'm here with Rachel Alvarado. She is our nutritionist and health coach. I want to talk a little bit first about Sage Integrative Health. Sage Integrative Health is a functional nutrition and herbal medicine clinic. We do focus on chronic conditions, and we're really focusing on that root cause, what's getting to the underlying imbalances in the body and why someone might be coming to us feeling unwell. So we're really thrilled to be launching our latest service, which is a weight loss program, but from a functional medicine perspective. We really want people to come to us and gain a better understanding as to why the weight may have come on over the years, why they're having a difficult time losing it, and help them get their bodies back into balance completely, looking at that holistic perspective, not just how to carve those pounds off and keep them off. We're really looking at helping to heal the body completely. So, Rachel, I'd love to hear more about how you got started into all of this and give me a little bit more about your background.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Wendy. I'm so happy to be here and part of Sage. It's really such a great practice that you have, and I'm thrilled to be part of it. So, I also went to MUIH and I got my master's in clinical nutrition. And right after there, I started working for a doctor and I started really focusing on weight loss. And that's where I started to really dig in. And weight loss is really tricky, but it is something I have found really rewarding working with weight loss. And I love your approach in really working with helping people feel their absolute best because we don't want weight loss for weight loss. We want you to feel the most comfortable in your body when we work with a client and for you to be able to use your body for all of life's experience. And so that's really what got me into nutrition is helping people feel the best in their bodies so that they can live their most fulfilled life. And, that's why I'm, again, so happy to be here because we really share in that passion.
Excellent. Rachel, I'm curious what your thoughts are on what are some of the biggest challenges people face in their weight loss journey?
Oh boy, there are so many challenges. First of all, our culture is set up to really, enforce these unhealthy foods. So we have this unhealthy food culture, and then we're inundated with these hyper processed foods that don't react properly within our body, that make us crave more foods. And a lot of these food companies literally engineer these foods to make them addictive. So we have these people looking for weight loss, and then they feel all of this shame. But the problem isn't on the person, it's this whole societal structure. But even though we have culture working against us and all these hyper processed foods working against us, you can still find a way through it. So there's definitely hope. So I don't want anyone to feel discouraged, but I don't want anyone to feel shame because the whole system is set up against you. So there should be no feeling of shame. And I think that's probably the biggest barrier that people feel or experience with weight loss is a lot of that shame that they think, oh, I don't have any self-control or where's my willpower? But it's really not that at all. It's such a bigger thing, but working within that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and so often too, we see people that in the clinic that come to us and they have these health imbalances too. And the food system is, as you said, designed to make us addicted to these processed foods. And
Mhm.
some people also they're trying to eat healthy, they're trying to eat the right foods, and sometimes they're still stuck with their weight loss goals. And we come to understand there might be some other underlying issues that are in the mix. So we have not only this broken food system, but we also have someone that may be coming in with a condition they didn't even realize they had that's impeding their ability to lose weight. So it's really this very complex scenario. And we often see the fitness and the weight loss industry trying to oversimplify it to say, well, just eat less and exercise more. And that's the formula. And so I'm curious too what you've experienced. So a lot of people think they have to do these crazy workouts, these, 5 days a week, hour-long hit workouts or high intensity training to lose weight. And I don't know. What's your thought on that you've seen?
Yeah, you do see that. People really pushing heavy exercise, but no. And studies have shown that weight loss is really going to come from your diet. So you lose weight in the kitchen. Now, not to say exercise is not very important. Exercise is very important to feel your best in your life, to make your body strong and healthy, prevent diseases. And it's great for maintaining weight loss, but to actually lose weight, that is going to come mostly from your diet. Like 95% is your diet.
It's not
And
the whole
so,
conversation, basically. And some people fixate more on exercise and they're still maybe not eating the best foods, or maybe they are, and there's something else going on too. And the exercise, what I've seen too, sometimes people can get into an exercise situation where they're over exercising, they're increasing their cortisol, they're creating more strain on their joints and creating more fatigue in their body, creating more carb cravings.
mhm.
And so because they're exercising beyond what their body can actually sustain long term, and this becomes a vicious cycle then.
Absolutely. In fact, you see that a lot is that when people start exercising, then their appetite really ramps up. And so then they overcompensate when they're eating. So it can be tricky if you do like excessive exercise. Not to say that some people who take it way too far don't, they can still lose weight, but that's not necessarily a sustainable weight loss. And we want, clients to have sustainable weight loss. And so, that's addressing all of the issues. Like you were saying, it is multifaceted. Weight loss is there's so much to it. And so you need a really dynamic approach. You
Mhm.
need to address what you're eating, but then you also need to address all of the underlying balances. What's going on? Is your body set up to be healthy so you can lose weight? And then also there's the whole emotional aspect of it. And so even though, I'm a nutritionist and I understand the importance of food, and I mean, that's what I specialize in, I still always say weight loss is a mindset. So it's a lot of working to get yourself in that mindset so that if you're eating for stress, well, let's also learn how to manage stress. If you're eating to escape, then let's start building a life we don't want to escape from, really getting to those underlining points.
Yeah, and I think that can be a challenge too. We're looking at the bigger picture,
Yeah.
looking at everything in our life that's contributing to stress. And stress is such a huge, huge factor in
Yeah.
life in general. I mean, stress is one of the biggest contributors to health imbalances and disease. So looking
Mhm.
at our society and how much stress is actually out there, it's overwhelming. So
Mhm.
so how can we help someone that, we know they can't hit the eject button on their life and start over, right? They're kind of in the situation they're in. But what are, I'm curious just if you could give a little highlight or like a little,
Yeah.
preview of some ideas that people could consider when they're thinking about coping mechanisms and stress and this whole journey.
Yeah, well, there's so many different things, and it's always going to be different for everyone. What is going to be the best solution for them? But I always think it's really good to start to consider, like, okay, what are my biggest stresses? And it could be a lot of small stresses that are just repeating over and over again. And so when you start really analyzing them, so I always recommend clients start looking at what is it that drives me to want to eat? If that is the issue, if you're eating for stress, what is it that you're feeling when you go and you put that piece of chocolate in your mouth? And what happened just before? Is it work? And a lot of times we can start analyzing the day to day and start making these small little tweaks. And then also sometimes it's about having these conversations with our family. How can we find help? How can we find support? And again, going back to it being just this big cultural problem, we live in a society where it's hard for us to ask for help, especially women. A lot of times women just take on the full burden of a lot of things, right? And so asking for help and finding ways to share the burden with other people.
Mhm.
And a lot of times just getting really strategic about how we can structure our life can be huge. But it all starts with just coming up with that awareness.
Yeah, that's absolutely critical. Now, Rachel, I know that you've had your own journey, and
Yeah.
so that's what brought you here to this place of helping others. Would you mind sharing some of that with us?
Yeah, I would love to share. So I have lost weight as well. And so I really understand the frustration, all of those feelings. It feels so overwhelming. And I remember thinking, like, I'll never be able to lose weight. Like, other people can, and that's great, but it would never be something for me. But then I worked on my systems, I worked on changing my diet, but then my mindset, and I was able to lose 40 pounds.
Wow.
And I lost that 40 pounds, and I've kept it off now for over 15 years. So it really is that sustained weight loss. And of course, came with diet change, but it came with the lifestyle change. And it came with actually making lasting changes, not little tweaks, so that, I wasn't yo-yo dieting. It
Yeah.
was really those changes to promote my physical and emotional health.
Yeah, so I'm hearing some tips in there too about really how we can help someone create a weight loss program, but also make sure that it's sustainable. And what are some, top 3 or 4 things that you'll be addressing when you're working with people?
Yeah. So, I talked about having a really dynamic approach. And so when I work with clients, first of all, I believe in education. I think it's really important that clients know the reason why I'm making certain recommendations. I want them to then be able to have that knowledge so they don't need us forever, but that
Mhm.
they're able to then go and navigate the whole food world and start making choices that serve them. So I believe in that education. And then, of course, part of that education is teaching clients how to create hormone favorability. So
Yep.
food is information. So when we eat that food, that gives our body information. And then our body is able to lose weight based off of that information if that's what we're giving it.
Mhm.
So creating this hormone favorability allows your body to access this place where it's able to actually access the stored energy. And of course, you're able to access that stored energy. And most people also comment about how they have so much more energy and they feel so
Mhm.
much better. And so we want to create this hormone favorability that allows clients to feel their best and use up, their stored energy, their fat for weight loss.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I believe in just that unwavering support. You want that accountability. Studies keep showing that when people have accountability, they're much more likely to achieve their weight loss goals and keep those weight loss goals. So that's a huge important aspect of it. And then there comes, the addressing the emotional side of it and building that life you love. Feed your soul and nourish your body. So feeding your soul and creating joy outside of eating food is a huge aspect of it as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And
Mhm,
when you talk about the hormone favorability, we're thinking about the insulin.
mhm,
We're thinking about these hunger hormones,
yeah,
leptin, ghrelin. These are the glucagon hormone, which helps release sugar into the body that's
yeah,
stored. So these are these hormones that can absolutely affect our satiety, how
mhm,
satisfied we feel. It affects how hungry we feel. It affects our blood sugar control. And these are all very much a part of our system and can be a factor, a huge factor in our
absolutely.
hunger cues. And so really looking at our hunger cues and where they're coming from is pretty significant. So Rachel, thank you so much for your time today. I'm really glad that we had the chance to sit down and talk a little bit about this. For all of you out there, we invite you to come to sageintegrativehealth.com. Take a look at our services. You're welcome to sign up for a 15-minute free phone consultation with any of us here. And Rachel is your go-to if you're interested in a weight loss program with Sage. And we'll definitely do a nice deep dive with you together and get you rolling. So again, stay with us. We look forward to seeing you in the clinic. Have a wonderful day.